Shelley Winter in for Mark Aram. I love Mark's bumper music. Mark will be back tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So please just sit tight and be patient. Your favorite morning guy, Mark Aram, my little brother. Just one of the best guys you'll ever meet in person. If you ever get a chance to meet Mark, all brown nosing aside, he is probably the most humble person that I've ever met in this business in my life, and he's a good man. And Deborah Green is joining here. Longoria and my cousin Vinny are all here. So I air Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. I talked about this story, and it's a very funny story. So I'm going to take you a long way around to get to the headline of today, okay? Because many of you may not have heard my take on this particular story. So back in September, the NFL announced that Bad Bunny was going to be the Super Bowl performer. And the right, the pundits, Fox News, everybody, the right just went ham, as they say. My young people, they just got angry. And the first angry outburst was he's not a citizen because, the whole immigration thing is flying. So that's a big thing. He's not a citizen. But then many who said that realized that Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States and they are American citizens. They even have a delegate in Congress, right? But that's neither here nor there. So then it shifted. Couldn't yell at that anymore. Then it was he wore a dress. I'll never forget. That was a big deal. He wore a dress. I don't want my children to see a man in a dress. I'm like, oh, okay, so Miss Doubtfire, all these movies did not count. Your kids never saw those movies. Okay, no problem. Then, when they realized this is not how he performs, it was just a photo taken. And then people also reminded them of others who put on dresses for Halloween or for different occasions. They started to realize, well, that's a silly hit. Then they shifted to he's going to perform all in Spanish. I don't understand Spanish. I've never heard Spanish. I don't know the words. That was the next thing. And I thought to myself, well, that's kind of a silly argument because have you ever been to an opera? But I'm sure many of the people that complained about Bad Bunny's halftime show that was coming up at the time, being in Spanish, had never been to the opera, so it was a criticism or a pushback that fell on deaf ears. Then the show happened on Sunday, a couple Sundays ago. There was a Super Bowl Sunday. Actually, 2 Sundays from this past Sunday, right? I think, right? Or was it last Sunday? 2 Sundays, right? So the Super Bowl show happened. There was a competing show, the All-American Halftime Show, which, by the way, no one's pointed out except right here on the Mark Aram Show, Shelley Winter filling in, that the All-American Show had no African Americans, no Hispanics, no Native Americans, they just all had white people. Now, if that's America for you, then you're kind of blind because that's not America. America is filled with a bunch of different people because America's filled because a bunch of people came here because it wasn't a country until the people came here. But the All-American Show had all white people. If that's what you like, that's your thing. That's fine with me. I'm okay. But I watched the Bad Bunny halftime show. And so as I was watching it, I didn't understand a word that was being sung, but I enjoyed the music because I'm a music person. I love music. I got up and danced on a couple songs. When Lady Gaga sung, I grabbed my cousin and I salsa'd with her, and I had a good time. I love the imagery. I love the production. I love the fact that he started with almost like the history of Puerto Rico from sugarcane farmers and enslaved people and Indians and native to Puerto Rico moving forward. Right? He had there's a lady now that has a bar in Brooklyn that's been open for 30 years. I can't remember her name, but it's a Puerto Rican Hispanic bar in Williamsburg. Gentrification has totally changed that neighborhood. She's still standing there as a bar. She's famous now because she served Bad Bunny a shot in the Super Bowl. So now her bar's got lines around the block. It's always been very popular within the Puerto Rican community in Brooklyn, but now it's just taking on a life of its own, a neighborhood bar. That's what he did. He brought Pedro Pascal, Ricky Martin,
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba, right? All Hispanic people. But to many of you, just actors who happen to be Hispanic, or maybe you don't even know that they were Hispanic to begin with. But that's neither here nor there either. But the big complaint after the Super Bowl, some Republican, conservative, right-winger, grifter, I call them all grifters because they are, posted the translations of the songs that Bad Bunny sung. at the Super Bowl halftime show. They posted the lyrics. And they said, oh, my God, look at the vulgarity. Oh, my God, I can't believe this was played for our children. And all the outrage started all over again. Outrage that lasted 6 months. And I want to take a break here by saying this. Isn't it incredible how divided our country has become, that people went at each other's throats, even bringing up and producing another alternative halftime show for 13 minutes of music being played at a Super Bowl? That's how divided we are. Dare I say that's how hateful we've become. But that's neither here nor there as well. But many people got mad at the translation of the songs that he performed. So they all got outraged. Randy Fine, which to me, if you're a constituent in Randy Fine's district in Florida, you are a foolish voter. And I'm sad that your vote counts the same as mine in a national election, because Randy Fine is a fool. He's an utter fool in Congress. And there's a lot of them, but he's just one of many. But Randy Fine sent a letter to FCC Chair Brendan Carr. He said, look, I saw these lyrics. I heard them performed. These are the translations. You, the FCC, needs to do an investigation, and you need to fine Bad Bunny, and he needs to be arrested for performing these vulgar lyrics in front of our children. Now, mind you, Randy Fine does not speak Spanish, so he has no clue what was sung at the Super Bowl. And the people who complained about the vulgar lyrics that they did not hear because they went to the other halftime show also don't speak Spanish, so they have no clue what was sung at the Super Bowl show. Yet everyone was still outraged. Well, we finally have a moment to say, in a very childish way, because all of you have acted like children since the announcement of Bad Bunny at the halftime show. Just nothing adult about any of the behavior. It's been like children. So finally, I get to be a child as well, and I get to say this on air to all of you who complained. Nah, 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 nah. Remember in high school, and not high school, but you remember in middle school and low school in the park, nah, 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 nah. You know, when you knew something and they didn't, and they insisted that they were right. I don't know, it could be anything like little Jane likes little Johnny, and little Jane says, I don't like little Johnny, and everyone says, nah, 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 you were wrong. Well, I'm going to say to all of you on the right, all of you grifters, all of you seeking to be outraged at every little thing, much like my left-leaning friends, but in this case, I'm talking to my right-leaning friends. All of you that have to be outraged every single day at yet another outrageous situation. The FCC, after getting several congressmen and women's letters, you need to investigate Bad Bunny. The FCC, let me read to you, because you won't get it from the grifters. They won't tell you this news. You won't get it from the grifters. You won't get it from Fox News. You won't get it from you-know-who evenings after my show. You won't get it from him. You'll only get, we need to investigate Bad Bunny for lyrics you never understood because you don't speak Spanish, or you never saw because you went to the All-American halftime show. But you had to be outraged at something. You can't be got by this foreigner. Can't be got by this Hispanic man with curly hair, who, by the way, is very handsome, who, by the way, has some real fine dancers that Laura Luma went so far to call Latin hookers. Takes one to know one, doesn't it, Laura? But anyway, I digressed again. Let me read to you what happened. The FCC found let me say that again. The FCC found no violations in Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance. The agency reviewed, let me say that again, the agency reviewed the show after several congressional Republicans, as if you don't have time, if you have so much time on your hands to do this, you can't get health care fixed, you can't get the economy fixed. Oh, but you can write a letter to the FCC checking on the lyrics sung in Spanish at a halftime show that none of your constituents watched in the first place, and even if they did, they don't understand Spanish. But you went ahead. Several of you sent letters to the FCC to investigate. Because that's all we do in Congress now is investigate. We can't help people. We can't help people, poor people. We can't help welfare people. We can't help people on health that need better health care. No, we can't help that. We can't help people get better jobs. We're just going to let AI come in and wipe out all the jobs. But you have such good time, so much time on your hands. You wrote a letter to the FCC because we had to investigate Bad Bunny and his lyrics at a Super Bowl halftime show, sung in a language you don't speak, on a network you didn't watch because you went to the other all-American, dare I say, all-white halftime show. The agency reviewed the show after several congressional Republicans urged an investigation, alleging possible breaches of broadcast decency rules. And I'm thinking to myself, what rules could that be? The lyrics? You didn't understand them. The dancing? It's dancing. It's on TikTok every single afternoon, every single day. So what were the broadcast decency rules? Oh, I know. It was the two men in the car with a quick clip of them kissing. That's indecent. It's on every single network show now. There's a great show on Netflix. I don't watch it. It's not for me. It's more of a soap opera drama thing called the Hunting Club or something like that, where all these rich Texas wives, they're all sleeping with each other, and they show women kissing all the time. But no, that's not broadcast decency rules. That's not breaking the rules. Only the two men. Is that what it was? The FCC examined the performance for profanity and obscenity. And here's where the na comes in. But determined that no rules were broken. The agency does not plan further action. Buried in a small little news item was this story. What wasn't buried was the letter that went to FCC Chair Brandon Carr sent by several Republicans. But you didn't see this, did you? You won't see it, will you? You won't share it when you do see it. You won't even share this video of me talking about it and telling you that the FCC found no violation in Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance. The FCC examined the performance for profanity and obscenity, but determined that no rules were broken. By the way, the FCC now is run by Republicans. So even Republicans did not see anything wrong. They heard no profanity, saw no obscenity. The agency does not plan further action. I tell you all of that. I tell you all that to say this. What has been shown to me, I'm a conservative. I'm going to be voting for Republicans. But what it's showing to me more and more and increasingly is that I'm in a party joined by people that are silly, childish, in many, many, many cases, so ignorant they don't even know what they don't know. And they refuse to see what they do know is wrong because their side is telling them it's right. And it's harder and harder. It's becoming harder and harder for me to continue to proudly say, I'm a Republican. I'm a conservative. It really is. Because of the people that are on my team. Many of you are hateful. Many of you are mean. Many of you don't look at your neighbor as your friend. You look at your neighbor as your enemy. And it's all being designed to continue to make that worse and worse and worse. And I got to be honest with you. I don't mind being called a name by a Democrat. It doesn't bother me because I don't vote for Democrats. What bothers me is when I'm called names and yelled at by my own team. And that's driving me away. And I'm not the only one. Shelley Winter in for Mark Arum. We will be right back. Let's go check traffic with Alex Williams.
Hey, good